Hi, everyone. Welcome on in. And today we're going to talk about why building your intuition is part of your healing path. So, when I teach women how to tap into their intuition, we don't actually go straight for the intuition. What we do is we honor the path that we're on by rooting down and then rising up into your intuitive skills and into a relationship with spirit. But we have to start from the roots. So if you've been following me for a while, you know that I am really passionate about building this relationship on our healing path with spirit and with your intuition by first going deep and then going up, right? So it's like a tree. You nourish your roots, and then you build the tree up. You water it, you give it food and sunlight, and you pay attention to those roots. And that's what brings up this gorgeous tree that builds leaves and flowers and blossoms. And part of the blossoming and the flowers and the trees is what we're going to talk about today. That's the intuition, that's the connection to spirit, that's the blossoming that happens when we tend to our roots. So first of all, so just a recap, if you haven't been listening to all the videos, is how do we tap into those roots? So the roots are your beliefs and your ancestral lineage, things that need to be healed along your path. They're beliefs that don't serve you, beliefs that you grew up with, beliefs that are still kind of ruminating around in there that are actually blocking the path to your intuition. So what I love to do is to look at beliefs, and we're going to get there. But that's part of the nourishing your roots. And then your emotions, right? Remember, when we're going on this cycle, we're going to really tap into those roots in order to grow and blossom, but we can't ignore the roots or the tree dies. So feeling into your body, connecting to your body's wisdom, trusting that your emotions are not running the show, or not actually having boundaries around them so they don't run the show, but feeling your feelings so that you can truly honor what you're feeling, but not let it run you, right? So really letting that excavation happen of your emotions. Then the most beautiful thing is we start tapping into our intuition. And that's where we're going to go today is that your intuition is actually part of your healing practice and your healing journey. And so we're going to talk about some of the steps and ideas that I have created around trusting and building your intuition. So just as a little story, what I think I've always done, and I tend to do it also, and even now, because we're human, is I tend to act first and then gather my intuition later and listen for the signs. So don't do what I do. Okay. So acting first means you're a little bit impulsive and definitely impatient. And what you want to do is pull back and start to understand that you're unique, that your path is unique, that just giving yourself that acknowledgement that you're not like everybody else, and they're not like anybody else either. We are all very unique. You can do the same thing for work and do it totally different. You can be a mother and be a different mother than your neighbor, right? So your footprint, your fingerprint, you are different, right? You are unique. There is no one else like you. So tapping into your intuition is the understanding that once you've kind of excavated the roots and nourished the roots and understand your emotions, is to acknowledge that you're a unique being, that you don't have to compare yourself to others, that you're unique. And the way that you communicate with spirit is also unique, right? So this is a healing practice because it's understanding, how do I, Ariella, versus you, person watching, connect with spirit? It's your own path. Somebody may be very clairaudient and they hear the words or they hear the connection. Somebody may be clairsentient and they they feel that connection with spirit. They have this feeling about them. Or somebody may be claircognizant, where you just know things. So think about the way that you tap in the most and the best. What is your unique path? The next step is that acknowledging, a lot of us don't really believe that we have a whole team. My team is called the Ancient Ones, right? And my team is a collective, and it's a group of ancient ones that guide me along my path, along with another divine team that I work with. So what do you sense? You don't have to know necessarily, but if you are willing to take the time in meditation, journal writing, nature, and get quiet, you can start to sense who your divine team is. So this is a very deep personal path, a unique path to you. You don't necessarily connect to the ancient ones. Perhaps you connect to your grandfather, right? Maybe he is your divine team. So your team is dedicated and at work behind the scenes, also your lineage, to guide you and give you the healing tools and the intuitive tools that you need. The goal is to be of service, right? Intuition alone is not enough. We want to have a deep intuition so that we can be of service to spirit. So you can bring your divine gifts alive in this lifetime. That is part of our soul plan. We all have a soul purpose, and we all have these intuitive gifts. But again, they are unique towards you. So listening to that still small voice, listening, feeling, hearing, knowing, those are all ways that we tap in. So for so many years, and I can still kind of get caught up in it once in a while, doing this life alone is like pushing like a big boulder up a hill, right? And so it's time to stop working so hard. And when we tap into our intuition as a healing practice, then we can stop pushing these huge boulders up a hill, stop pushing through life, and stop thinking that we have to do this by ourselves. But our job, the next step here, our job is to listen. Okay, that's part of the job, is to listen. And again, I told you I can get impatient and I want things to happen now. And part of intuitive skill building is to step back and say, I actually don't have all the answers, but my divine team has the answers. And I will now pay attention and receive. And that's all about listening, right? That's what, instead of jumping ahead, the goal is to be patient enough to listen. So part of intuition is asking spirit. That's kind of the next step. We want to listen. And then we want to ask spirit to help us connect to our intuition, or help us connect to our steps that we want to take on this healing journey. It can be through work. It can be through healing your body. It can be through healing your beliefs, your relationships. Whatever you're going through, you can bring these skills to life, basically, right? To whatever you're going through in life. So it's like carrying around a medicine bag. That's the way I think of it. Your medicine, your specific medicine, is your uniqueness, your unique path, your unique footprint. And then taking it up a notch and listening and being still enough to listen, and then allow yourself to ask, right? So getting quiet is the listening, and then asking is the co-creation with the divine. Thank you, Spirit, for allowing me to ask and pray that you bring me and show me the divine breadcrumbs in order for me to move forward on my unique intuitive path around my work, around my relationship, around my healing in my body, around whatever it is. And that's the next step. This is called heart-centered living, or what I like to call it, this is tapping into your sacred center. This is how we build this beautiful, unique path that we are on, because we all may feel the same or do the same things. But again, you are your medicine bag is unique. Your medicine is unique. So humbly stand before the divine. Offer your life to the divine, and perhaps, just perhaps, start playing with it. What I have found is that when I offer my business and offer my life and offer my relationships to the divine, I can then stand out of the way, right? Ego, edging God out, is really our way of controlling and fearing most situations. And what we want to do is allow the divine to lead and we follow. And so the next step in this is now we need to act. And a lot of us get really scared. We think we hear the message. It may be a little bit crazy, right? Or we don't understand the message fully. But what I like to do is write it down. So you can be in meditation, or you can be asking, or you receive something, some sort of message. Write it down in a little, like get a journal just for the intuitive process, and write it down and see what comes out of your writing so that you have tangible evidence that you received a message. And then you need to act. And acting is putting prayer into action, right? These answers that you get, you take them, you sit with them, and then you act upon them, because it doesn't help if you receive the message and then doubt it and then don't act on it, right? So part of your intuition, the way to allow our intuition to grow, is to listen, to ask, and to act. Those are the three major steps. And so part of what I do in in the groups that I lead, the workshops, the retreats, and the private clients, is we excavate, we go into the dirt, and we pull up those roots of beliefs that, gosh, they get in the way, right? They just get in the way. And that's part of the work we're doing. And right now on Earth, we have just entered into November, and November is an abundance month. It's a month of, we're still coming off of Halloween, when the veil is very thin. And it's a beautiful, beautiful time to count your blessings and be grateful. So start a gratitude practice. And it's also a beautiful, beautiful time to start working on building a cycle of intuition. And part of that cycle, if you've followed me for a little while, you know that I love circles and I love the seasons and nature. And part of connecting to that cycle is to go down deep, right? And figure out your beliefs and work on them and excavate them, and then nourish yourself by really honoring your emotions. Stop gaslighting yourself and honor your emotions and feel them and move through them, and then co-create with the divine by starting to work on, and it's a skill, right? Just like you build muscles at the gym, you need to build the muscle of your intuition. And then build those muscles by asking, by praying, by acting and listening. And then finally, you have this beautiful divine purpose, this flowing relationship with the divine, where every act of service is spirit first, right? And we're going to touch on that a little bit next week, possibly. But every act that we enter into is an act of spirit, an act of service. And that's really the benefit of building our intuitive muscles, is that our life becomes a prayer. So my prayer for all of us is that we can build our muscles of intuition as a healing practice, to remember to connect, root down, feel, and heal, and connect to our intuition. Have a beautiful, beautiful day wherever you are. And don't forget, monthly, every Monday, not every Monday, the first Monday of every month at 6 p.m. Mountain Time, we will have a complimentary healing circle. So if you're new and you want to sign up, you can sign up through my website, www.mysoulcentered.org. Our next, depending on when you're watching this, our next meeting is November 7th, 6 p.m. Mountain Time on Zoom. Stay for the teaching, the healing, and the intuitive guidance. Bye, everybody.